Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? Sorry, I didn't put my light on. How are you? Afternoon, Mark, FTNet, Lucas, James. How are we all doing? Happy Wednesday, CPI day. Monkey, afternoon. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Huge move on the CPI numbers today. Let me just get rid of my calculator, which I've been doing some calculating with. That's what you use calculators for. Yeah, short straight away on the NAS. Nothing on the DOW yet, but yeah, very large move on that CPI for the US dollar to the downside. So stock indices up. Might be a tricky one today because when we get news before the open, we get a large volume of obviously orders going in on the news, which means that often it's a tricky open because they don't have a lot of volume left, but sometimes we just get a complete retracement on it. So we'll see where we go. We'll come back to that in a minute. Both broken short, but there's a possibility of a hedge on both of these today because we might get a whippy one, but we'll see what happens. Morning, tra-la-la, or afternoon even. I keep forgetting we're in New York today. So this afternoon, we're just going to do normal. We're going to look at the news, look at FX, look at what the positions are doing, etc., etc. Look at all the zones for the zone trader EA. Also going to trade a bit of futures this afternoon. But I'm going to give the market a little bit of time to wake up. I'm not going to try an ORB today, I don't think. Because I think, yeah, there we go, hedging probably. I think it's going to be a bit of a whippy one at the open. But it might just fly. If it does fly, obviously, I'm going to get a double hedge here, but we'll see where we go. So let's start off with news. Obviously, as we know, we've got that big CPI number that just came in. Let's go back. Enough news to load. Let me refresh that. So we've had two news events today. We had the CPI for the pound this morning, which came out lower than forecast. So we were looking at 2.6. We actually got a 2.5. And then we've just had the CPI for the US dollar, which hasn't loaded. And that's come out at a 0.2 on a forecast of a 0.3. So the year on year is absolutely spot on. The month main is spot on, but the core, which is the main bits that everybody spends on, has come down. So that is good, meaning potential interest rate drops, but US obviously has dropped on that. But it's not a massive difference. So although it is a variation or a deviation rather, it's not a very big deviation. So markets had a very large reaction to a very small piece of news here. I'm thinking that they're using it to manipulate the US ahead of Monday, because obviously the markets, I think, are going to want to readjust themselves before Monday, because when Trump gets in, there's going to be a lot of announcements of all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So it's a case of they're going to need to balance the books a little bit before that happens. So we'll see what happens there this afternoon. But we could get a continuation. This could be a very large propulsion move that's being put in here, which could look to come back up and retest some recent levels. So we'll see where we go. What strategy do I use on options? I don't trade options. Never traded options. It's one of those things I looked into at one point in my life and got really confused by it and thought, that's far too complicated. And I just never looked back. So, afternoon, Barry. Yeah, never looked at options. Don't trade it at all. Dow Jones, gap up, gap down, open, please tell me. What? Dow Jones, gap up or gap down? I don't know. It'll be a gap up, won't it? There's the Dow. That's the close. There's the open. There's the gap. Huge gap up. What do you trade on the black background there? That's futures. We'll look at that in a minute. Right. So, start off obviously with the news. Yeah, we've had obviously a fair bit of movement today. So going all the way back to this morning. That's where's this morning gone? Wow, long way back. We had the UK interest rates coming. Inflation coming out 2.5 on a forecast of 2.6. So traders are pointing to 73% chance now of a rate cut in February versus 62. So obviously we were hoping more like that they were going to drop the rates again by another 0.25%. Now we've got the inflation figures coming down 0.1. It's not big, is it? 0.1. Still come down. They are piling into basically dropping interest rates. So potentially that means slightly more bearish movement on the pound. So if we have a look at what the pound's done today, there's the whipsaw obviously off the news here. Not a lot. So as you can see, it's actually rallied a little bit. That's rallied because the CAD's dropped with the US, but we haven't really done an awful lot with the pound. It is up at ADR on a couple of things, but the Swiss franc and the US and the CAD have moved on the inflation figures for the US. So if you actually look at the other pound pairs, pound New Zealand, pound odd, that gives you a more stable idea of to what the strength of the pound is. Not really anything. So market not really made any movement on the pound basically, but obviously everything else has dropped. So the US has dropped, the CAD's dropped, the Swiss has also dropped. So that's where the movement is at the moment. Whether or not that interest rate drop comes, I don't know. And I think this is the market not doing anything because I'm not convinced we're going to drop rates next month. We're not that good. Yeah, we thought we were going to get 2.6. We managed to get 2.5. Whoop-de-doo. It's a 0.1 percentile. Our target is 2. We're miles away. So I'm not convinced Bank of England is going to drop rates, but we'll wait and see. And it doesn't look like the market's convinced either. So that's the news we had this morning. We've had lots of talk out of the ECB. Nothing particularly exciting. I've scanned through it and watched it as it came in, but nothing really there. Peace deal coming at Gaza, which is fantastic. But apart from that, not a lot else happening. Hamas have given green light to the Gaza deal. There you go. So that's in. So there's your CPI for the US just come in. Obviously, big drop in the dollar. Indices will do opposite. So there's all your movement off of that. More easing after December CPI figures. So yeah, the Fed have said they're not going to change the interest rates. They're not going up. They're not going down. Market now obviously thinking maybe they will reconsider, but don't overread this. It's a 0.1 percentile drop on a monthly figure. That is exactly where they thought it was going to be, which is 0.9% higher than they want it to be. So this is a big overreaction, I think. There's a chance that some of this might undo. But we will probably want to undo some of this movement we've had on the US as well, because the US has been squeezing pretty hard since Trump got in, as you can see. So it's time for a pullback on all this before Trump actually arrives. So watching previous weekly highs, monthly highs and lows, and seeing if we can get some progress back in the other direction for the rest of this week. What strategy do I use on futures? Hitting the buy and sell button and hoping the market moves in my direction using risk reward. Pretty much it. You'll see in a minute. Dow Jones gap up. Yeah, gap down. Open, sir. Please tell me. I've just answered that question. Rewind. Can you not answer the question yourself? I'm not being funny, but that's where the market closed yesterday. This is where the market opened today. Is that a gap up or a gap down? You tell me. Sorry, sarcastic mode kicking in. Lucas, zone trader, you let the H1 for trading to right and switch not to lower time frame. What? I don't get that. You let the H1 for trading to right and switch not to lower time frame. So if the candle touches the buy zone and generates a bull candle with a big wick, you have the entry away from the zone. Yes. So yeah, basically with the zone trader EA, we'll look at this in a sec, but the EA takes a trade Oh, let's just find a pair that's got some stuff on it. There we go. So the EA takes a trade on candle close. So you can flick around timeframes if you want to. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Every time a candle closes, it will go, have I got an entry or not? So I personally use the hourly time frame because it's the easiest to see near-term price action. But if you want to do zone trading on the 4-hour chart, do it on the 4-hour chart. But the candle will, the EA will take a trade when a candle closes. So if you use the 4-hour chart, it will look for an entry every 4 hours. If you look on the hourly, it will look for an entry every hour. If you want to look for an entry every 5 minutes, use the 5-minute chart. Obviously, you're going to get a lot more entries on this, a 5-minute chart, than you will on the hourly. So hourly's a good time frame for swing trading. This is a swing trading strategy, swing trading position strategy. So the hourly time frame is good for seeing enough price action on the screen that you can see where obviously the sell zones are, and you can see where the buyers are. But if you can't see a zone, then you're going to need to go out into a higher time frame to identify. So it's just about looking for where price is going, basically, isn't it? So no movement on the Dow. NAS is rejecting a break to the downside. So it looks like the US dollar is continuing to drop. So US still, well, it's not pushing. It's putting back against the Swiss. Bit undecided on that at the moment, isn't it? So we'll come back to that in a bit. So that's your news, all done. There's no more news today. We've got crude at 330. So if you're trading oil or US dollar, watch that, because obviously that will affect the CAD, the US dollar, and oil. But that's at 330. Crude entries don't tend to do an awful lot, especially after we've had all that news come in today. Tomorrow, if you're trading any Aussie pairs, we've got the unemployment rate. So just to go through the positions, I have not closed out my Aussie US yet. I'm still holding it. Reason I'm holding it is we've got Australian news tomorrow, and I just want to see if this continues, this rally on the back of this move, because they haven't immediately retraced it, and I think there's a chance we might just get a flag break higher. So I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer and then reevaluate it a little bit later on today, and just see if we can get a continuation on this US. So haven't banked anything yet, but I've got plenty. I can bank about 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about $1,700. And obviously I need to do some drawdown control with that, but I'm just going to let it ride for a minute and to see where we go. So ADRs today, loads. Obviously all of these Aussie, all of these CAD pairs basically, and all the US pairs, apart from US dollar CAD, will be ADR hits today, and US dollar Swiss, sorry. Actually, it's a right mix, isn't it? Yen, we've had an awful lot of move on today. So 175 ADR on the yen, straight back down into weekly low, which is rejecting at the moment. So that's a lovely ADR reversal opportunity there, M5. You would have already had a reversal alert on this. That news has obviously spiked it lower. So your first reversal alert on this today was actually there. So somewhere around there was your first reversal today. Pushed up, came back, retested, and then we sat around waiting for the news. So this will be a decent entry, potentially for a pullback, but I want to see what happens with this US. They may well continue this move, so just be a bit careful with these today. New Zealand dollar US, obviously that's just come off of ADR, but it's off the news, so I'd be wary of all these ADRs today. It's either going to form a lovely big propulsion gap, which is going to hold and rally from, or they're going to do an A-shaped recovery. So your play is basically, am I looking for A-shaped recovery or not? This, I think, is a bit of an overreaction, but we'll wait and see. Pound Swiss extended to 125. You haven't had a reversal on that one yet. Still rallying. We're out of the previous highs as well. Oh, no, we're not, sorry. Yesterday's highs up here. So I suspect we're looking to retest that propulsion move there. So potentially a little bit more room on that one. But yeah, go through these at your leisure. A lot of them are yens today, because obviously that yen's had a very, very strong move. The reason the yen moved strongly is because Bank of Japan came out this morning and said that they are seems to be leaning towards the side of increasing interest rates next week. So your interest rates are changing next Friday for the yen. And it's looking like we are going to get an increase in interest rates. So obviously bulls have started to step in on that yen and drive that back down again. So we'll see what happens with that one. Also, you got some RSI extensions as well. Oh, you did. Sorry. No, you did have some RSI extensions. They've all unwound on this move. So the only thing you got extended at the moment now is US dollar Swiss. So any RSIs you did have all played out. So the only RSI we've got is US dollar Swiss on the hourly, which is literally just got extended. You can't get an entry off of that. So nothing to look at there. Hedged on the NASDAQ. So with the NAS hedge, I'm going to move down to 4R. So this is either going to be a continuation or a gap fill today. So propulsion gap fill will be my downside target for an exit. If they're going to continue to the upside, that's not a bad level. Obviously, to get there, we're looking at a 175 ADR extension, which is huge. But we've had 100% of ADR done. So ADR is 382 or 38 pips. That is 35. So basically, the news candle on the hour put in an entire ADR. So in theory, that move there is one ADR of normal price action. The question is, has the market got an ADR's worth of price action left in it? So there's obviously, we got this little high from Friday last week. We've got these highs from sort of Wednesday, Thursday last week, sort of to look at as well. Failing that, we're looking at this area here, or a return to origin of the bear move. So there's potential resistance here. We've got potential resistance coming up here. So that area there is probably what I'm going to favor today, because I think if we are going to rally hard, 175 is possibly achievable. Getting all the way back up to here, 225 ADR today, odds are 3%. So it's very unlikely that we're going to rally there. But this US dollar is absolutely collapsing. So they're not liking it, are they? So we'll see. We might get a continuation on it. What's the Aussie US doing? That's what I want. Up. Right. So we'll see where those go. But it looks like a double hedge. Yes, a double hedge today. So the Dow downside will be the same. I'll go for the gap fill. So the propulsion move caused by the news, I'll look for that to fill. Doesn't look like it's going to do that today. Upside on the Dow, it's going to be double top high on the 2-week high. So that's your 2-week high, which is bang in the middle of the propulsion move, which they've sold now 3 times. So this is the 4th test. So we're going to find sellers at 175 ADR today. So that's where I'll exit the longs, and then I'll look for an aggressive exit short to get out of the hedge. This morning's hedges, this morning's trades basically, FTSE and DAX. So DAX I got out of at 5R on the longs because it was a hedge, and then I closed it out with a small loss. FTSE was a clean break to 3R, and I got a 2R trailer. So nice profitable morning. But we'll see where we go. Right. I'm not sure I'm going to get time to trade futures this afternoon, to be honest. Let me catch up on chat. I was thinking to try on demo to enter randomly 5 positions at the beginning of the day with 1 to 2R and 0.5% risk. If it works, go to a prop firm. Maybe if they all 5 add up to 1% profit at some point, we'll close everything. Don't know. Sounds like a bit of a random strategy to me, but you never know. Thanks for the advice on yen yesterday. Saved me a lot of drawdown. Yeah, cool. Yeah, yen. I've still got a yen on. We're going to look at the zone trader EA now. So we're going to look at the trades and levels. Just want to quickly have a look at the futures market. So we're attempting a breakout of the high at the minute. I hate trading when it's like this. When you've had a news event like this, it's very difficult to pick a direction because your head is telling you that the majority of news events that aren't fundamentally strong like this one will fill, but your technical analysis is telling you this is a long. So my head's telling me that needs to happen. My technical brain is telling me I need to long it. And when you see price action this choppy, there's obviously nothing happening at the moment that gives you any indication of what to do. We've got a double bottom forming there and a new higher high, so it looks like a long to me. Might just quickly try 3 long on it. Very tight stop, and I'll add on the break. If it is going to go long, we've got plenty of room on the NASDAQ to the upside. To that high here, which is where I would look to with this wick here. I mean, it could act as resistance, but it's more likely we're going to try and find some resistance in this accumulation here. This is a previous area of sell, which we broke through, retested, and then hit. We slammed straight through it. The buyers couldn't get back through that level. So that's really where I'd look to get some resistance, which is it's probably best to look at it on the futures chart. So it's this area here. Sorry, it's not. It's this area here. No, it's broken down. That's a loss. We're rejecting this area here. So broken short. Don't like it. It's very difficult to call this. These conditions are very, very hard to trade in. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. I am watching your live from India. I have lost 10 lakh rupees in Indian market. I will commit suicide. Please help me. Please don't do that. I don't know what 10 lakh rupees is, but hopefully it's not a lot of money. Sorry, can't help you there. But don't do that. Go and talk to someone. I will go through all the zones now. Hopefully these will help you. I quite know what to say to that. So zones we're going to go through today, starting at the beginning, Aussie CAD. At the moment, I've got longs on. Got 5 positions on. So looking to get up into this area of previous support. Broke through, turned into resistance. This is where the sellers are sitting. So average is there. So I'm just looking for an exit. 5 positions on. It's too many. So looking to get out. That's £10,000, is it? Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose, because 99% of people lose it. Aussie dollar Swiss. We've got shorts at the moment. So this is pushing up. Obviously, Swiss franc at the moment very weak with that US dollar movement. So second entry was taken yesterday. So we've got 2 levels to look at. Excuse me, my voice is going. This high here, which is okay to get in at. and this high here, and this high here. So there's 3 levels basically. So around there, pretty good. So looking for some kind of reaction around that kind of quadruple top, assuming at the moment we're going to stay range bound, because that's what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Since the beginning of December, we've been in a much wider range, which is now contracted. So assuming that we are going to hold the range, which is holding this low break, that will be the next entry short. If the price drops back down again, I'm looking to get out here. So very small profit on it at the moment. Aussie dollar yen, I'm flat, not trading yen at the moment until we get a little bit closer to normality with it, really. We're right back up at the intervention highs. We didn't quite get there, and now we are looking like we're breaking down with this US news. So I reckon we're going to pull back into here, but I don't necessarily think, looking at market structure, we are going to not test that area. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with the yens at the moment. So not trading any yen. I have got some yen on, which we'll see in a minute. Short taken 2 days ago on the Aussie New Zealand. That's pulling back a little bit at the moment. Next entry on that one is going to be bit of a mess price action around here. Not very clean price action at all, that. So we got a high there, which was retested. We retested that. We flip-flopped around it, and we didn't come back to it. So there's just no real obvious level. So for me, when I've got nothing I can see to the left, all I do is just get another position on to bring the average closer, and then I can make a decision on the high to use next. Aussie US, target to the downside on that one. I was looking for this area, but we're putting in slightly higher lows now, look. So might have missed the exit on this, unfortunately, which would be annoying, but I'm just going to move. Actually, I'm going to leave it there for the minute and see what happens today. Aussie US, got longs on at the moment, just waiting to get up to target on that one. Sorry, I'll let you guys just carry on talking. Pushing up into the highs is the next target. So that accumulation break, there's your area of supply demand, propulsion gap. This is the area we're holding, the propulsion gap basically. So I'm looking for them to come and retest propulsion to get out, and then I'm going to flip short. Well, I'm not going to, yes, I am going to flip short on this one because it's tradable both directions. Next entry to the downside, just below half an ADR. Shorts on this one, we haven't gone anywhere. Most of these zones that I've got in play now are already there, and we've already covered them. So obviously looking for it to come up, hit that area, take a new position, bring the average up. That's the target to the downside, which is the recent high low. So we'll see if we get down to those. CAD yen out, not trading. Swiss yen out, not trading. Euro odd. Just missed my entry short. Really annoying. I was looking for a retest of that area there. We missed it by that much. And then it flew down into the lows. We bounced up. Now we've put a lower high in. So we're going to break down here. So your new market structure on this one, that's your new peak formation high. Then we've got a low, lower high. We're putting in a lower low. So watch this area here for a bounce, which would be your new lower high. Sorry, lower low. And then obviously get a bounce out of that. I can't trade this long. It's too expensive. So I'm still trying to get into shorts. So I'm just going to move my entry down. And I'm going to look to see. I'm going to put it on that whole thing there. So that wick we've just put in on the news. Looking at that high. So somewhere in that area. If we can get back up there, I will short it. But more likely we're just going to push down, put a new low in, so that would be the obvious spot for a sell, but I'll give that another day, see where it goes. Looking for shorts on this one, so I'm looking for a push back up into the origin of that move to retest to go short. Euro Swiss, stuck sideways. I'm in long. It is long. It just can't quite get to my target. We missed it 3 times. Can't get there. So actually, no, this trade was only taken this morning. Sorry, this is a new entry, wasn't it? Right, so new entry this morning, looking for an exit up there. I won't be taking shorts on it because it's too expensive. Next entry down there. Euro pound, new entry gone in. That's the 5th entry on this one. Of resistance. So there you go. So there's resistance identified. There's the bounce. So looking for a push down. I'm not changing my target on this. I don't think this pound is strong. Is weak enough to continue to break out of this. I think we're going to get some strength coming through on this. So we're looking for a push back down into there. If we get down to there and it ends up being something like a 125 ADR extension, that is potentially where you're going to find some buyers. So we broke on news. We had an accumulation break. There are buyers here adding to the position. So that area there, in fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put mine on that zone because it's got 5 positions on. When you've got lots of size on, obviously the potential is to make a hell of a lot of money when it goes your way. But to be honest, the downside, I'd rather just be out of the trade and be done with it and just take a very small profit or a break even on it because the trade hasn't worked out. The whole idea of position trading is not to make absolute fortunes. It's not to lose a lot of money. So we can get out of positions which are completely wrong and we can stay in them for weeks on end and not make a loss. And that's the whole point of trading, is not losing, it's winning. So that's an exit in profit. Not going to be a lot of money, but we are just stuck in this really wide expanding range. So just want an exit. Euro yen out, not trading. Euro New Zealand stuck sideways, can't do anything with it. Looking for a push back down into here to get out, which is a 50% retracement on the leg. So it's this area here we rebought from if needed, and it double tops. Going to take another one up there, which will be the 4th position. Pen's changed for some reason. Euro US dollar back at average, got 4 positions on this. So I'm looking for a return to the propulsion gap, but this high here and this high here I will keep an eye on as well. So there is potential for, as you can see, that propulsion moved down, put in a new low. We put in a lower high, double topped it and broke short. Then we put in a lower high, lower low. So there is potential for a lower high to go in somewhere around here. So again, 4 positions on it. Trade's not working out, but it is kind of range bound. So that's the conservative exit. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the zone down onto the highs there. So that's the conservative exit. That's the aggressive exit. So if we push up into here and we start to put a new lower high in, I may just hit the close button, but I'll look at it day by day. I mean, the chances of getting all the way up into there today are quite remote. We've got no news catalysts, so I'll put my target there and see how we get on. Pound odd, got buys on at the moment. We've been going nowhere for the last couple of days. Next entry is going to be off of resistance and the propulsion move there, so that'll be the next entry. Average will come down. Target, I think I'll leave where it is. Pound CAD, longs again, not gone anywhere for 2 days, starting to move. We are nice W pattern reversal out of the previous lows, so looking for either a 71 retracement on that, depending which way you look at it, 50% retracement on that leg, roughly that leg as well. So looking for it to come back up into this previous area of support, which we bounced out of, and then we slammed through that on news, retested, resold it. So this is where the sellers are currently. So looking to get back up into there and retest that zone. Pound Swiss speaks for itself. I've been going sideways. Can't do anything with it. I've got longs on. It just can't get anywhere. So giving up. Anyway. Right. Pound yen. I have longs on at the moment. I just want exits on this. So what I've done is, obviously this is my average price. I have put my exit zone on this low in the hope that all we're going to do is kind of pull back into that area, and I just want out. Yeah. So that's my plan, is just to get rid of this one at the moment and be done on the yen. I just want to get flat because I'm not sure what they're going to do, the Japanese, at the moment. With their interest rates. I've got a feeling that the interest rates are going to rise, which means the yen will rally, which means this will come down. So not the end of the world, because I've got a US dollar yen short, so I'm hedged on the yen. But what I don't want to do is get caught the wrong side of a big move. So I'm just trying to get out of this one at the minute. Pound New Zealand, can't trade, it's too expensive. Pound US dollar, I'm long. I'm looking for the next entry on a double bottom. Or I'm looking to come back up and retest this propulsion gap here. I'm going to watch that level as well. So we've got to get some bullish movement started on the pound first. We haven't had any. That US negative move is helping, but it seems to be undoing itself. Indices are probably coming down. Certainly not going up, but yeah, we're stalled out. This is the problem. I was in two minds whether to trade today, because every time we get these big moves on the news, it either just does an A-shaped recovery or it does nothing the vast majority of the time. And when you get it doing nothing, you just get sideways price action. Sideways price action basically means going nowhere. So yeah, we'll see. But we are breaking long on the NAS. Stuck. Right, so New Zealand dollar CAD, longs on at the moment. Nothing much has changed. We did have a nice bull move yesterday, which pulled back 50% into previous support, bounced, retested, up again. So we break it. As soon as we break that high, we're off. And there's a very good chance we're going to come up and test this area here. Again, that's my average price. I've got 5 positions on. I just want to break even on this one at the moment just to get out and then reevaluate. New Zealand dollar Swiss, long trade taken yesterday. Not looking to get greedy on this, just want to get out on a double top. It's a very weird weak trend. The fact that we didn't put in a new higher high there means obviously we've still got sellers defending this move. It's just ground for weeks and weeks, so I'm looking to short that area there. Sorry, I'm not looking to short it, I'm looking to get out of the long there. In case it triple top bounces. So we are putting in a nice higher low off the news, so there's a very good chance we'll hit that. I'm tempted to hold this, but obviously, as you can see, trading against the trend at the minute. So whenever you're trading against a very nice established trend, obviously just want to get out of that a little bit quicker, because there's more likelihood of putting in lower highs than there is higher highs. So ideally, we can get another little push up into there, and I'll just get out up there, and then I'll look for a new entry long, but difficult going long against the trend. However, if this does break up, we've obviously established a new uptrend within the downtrend, so this could be the reversal that's in play. So I'll just look for pullbacks to get long when it happens, if it happens, a bit like this one here. New Zealand dollar yen, out and flat. New Zealand dollar US dollar, again still stuck. It's moving nicely in the right direction now. Again, 6 trades on. Just want to exit in propulsion, be done. Got it wrong, get out at a break even, and then reevaluate, and ideally get out at a break even before Monday. Mr. Trump's coming. New Zealand, sorry, US dollar CAD, shorts on again, just stuck sideways for over 2 weeks now. Nice shorts on this one. We are again holding this low, just looking for it to break that low, and if it does break that low, I'm just going to get a quick exit and exit this one as well, because again 4 trades on, it's just stuck sideways. So I'm hoping we can just break down and get a false breakout to the downside and get them to buy up a retracement, in which case then I will flip long on it. Just need to check. Yeah, that's fine. And US dollar Swiss, again shorts on that one, 6 trades on, just one out, so I'm looking for a 50% retracement leg. in case the US dollar does that. So that's a lovely move today, helping very nicely. So I'm looking for a retest of this high, which we hit, sold again, accumulated, then we broke through it, tested. So this is where the bulls are. So I will get out, assuming the bulls are going to remain in control when we get down to that level. US dollar yen, I am short. I don't want to be short. I don't want to be any yen at the minute. It's holding this low again. So again, this propulsion move here, I'm looking for a breakout down into this area here. And then obviously, potentially we're going to buy this up. So I'm looking to get in long, sort of down here. But what I will probably do, in fact, I'm going to do that now, is just turn always in mode off, which basically means when it exits this trade, it will not take a new one for me. It will just exit. It won't get back in. So because I want to get flat as I can on the ends at the minute, hopefully ahead of Friday. So there's all your zones done. P&L is probably dropping back down now because that US is doing a little bit of a retracement. So odd CAD still rallying at the minute. Still holding. So Canadian dollar still dropping a little bit. Just going to hold all that for the minute. Right, there we go. So hedges obviously in play. David, afternoon. How are you? Thank you very much for the $10. Very much appreciated. Bar, sheep go bar, goats go meh. So next time it's a meh, not a bar. Thank you very much for the $10. Very much appreciated, David. You are my number one. Super. You have a YouTube channel promoting trading plan. Oh, I see. Harold's figured you out trading with Rajkumar. Obviously not a very good trader, are you? You're missing all the fun, David. We've got somebody in here who is obviously trying to grab some people out of the channel to go and use his channel by saying he's poor. And he's not a very good trader because he's lost 10 grand. If I was going to promote a YouTube channel that obviously has something that it wants to do, I probably wouldn't go into other channels telling me how crap they are. But anyway, each to their own. Marketing's not my strong point. Right, so hedges are on. We'll just see how those play out. Let's go back to futures. What a mess. So it is a long at the minute still. I find it very, very hard to jump long on something that is that extended. Me, as a mean reversion trader, is wanting to do that. So we've just got a new low gone in, symmetrical triangle forming. So at the minute, I'll be looking for breaks of that. And it does look like it wants to go long again, but it's tricky today. So, yeah, you asked about my strategy, tra-la-la. So all I do is, if you think market reversal alert, all I'm doing is visually using market reversal alerts. So let's try and find something that's actually got a reversal alert on it that isn't hitting ADR today. Everything's going to be all over the place today because of the news. There we go. So basically what I'm looking for is that. So a reversal, either at a level of resistance or on a trend continuation. I'm looking for a pullback reversal. Yeah, so I'm looking for the trend to continue. So for me, all I do in futures, very, very simple, is on a higher time frame, I'm looking for where we're going. Yeah, I'm looking for levels that make logical sense to sell at right now here. Yeah, so this is a previous high. I'm looking for signs of bearish movement. So we got a high, lower high, looking for a lower low to go in. Yeah, if we get that lower low, it is an M pattern reversal. If you were using the market reversal alerts indicator, you'd have a big orange box there. That's it. Literally, all I'm doing is visually using market structure. So this is either going to bounce and pull back from that high, or it's going to accumulate and then break that high. And if it breaks that high, it's going up to the next resistance. And the next resistance could be, and this is a bit of a messy day today, is somewhere around there. So I'd be looking for price to, if it breaks this area here, to push up into there. And that's where I'd look for a short. Normally, you wouldn't have a move like that. Yeah, so what I'd be doing is jumping on momentum. So all futures is about is following the crowd. It's momentum. This is an index of stocks, and if they are buying a sector of stocks, NASDAQ, tech, they're buying tech, carry on buying tech until they show you that they're stopping to buy tech. That's it. So there you go, lower low gone in. This is a 1000 tick chart. So this is micro price action within the 5-minute candle. So I'm just following basically what the momentum's doing. That's it. But it either works or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, very tight risks. Yeah. So the idea is to get on a move. The way you make money in the futures market is by scaling into a position. So for me, if we are going to get this trade working, I'm going to add more size. Yeah. So next leg for this is going to be a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high. If the lower high doesn't work out, I'm looking for it to double top. If it doesn't double top, I'm out. I'm wrong. If it does work out, I'm going to add more size because we're going to come down and find some support somewhere else below. So it's all about getting a position on. The way I tend, well, this is the way I make money anyway, is just get a big size on and hold it. And then scale out when you get close to what you want to achieve. If you're in the member streams yesterday, we covered setting targets as traders for what we want to do. So if you want to do earn a part-time income trading and you don't need to earn a full-time income trading, you're going to have a different mindset to if you want to earn a full-time income. So this is a great way to earn a part-time income, and it's about basically just getting on a big position and making a big pot of cash the same way as you would going into a casino. Yeah, or not in this case. So it's just about trying to get a position on. So the way that I do it is just try a trade. If it works out, add more size. If it works out, bank it. If it doesn't work out, very small loss. Lost $300. I can get that back in 2 minutes. So there's no real strategy apart from the strategies I always use, which is support, resistance, zone-based trading, and market structure. So that is a failed reversal alert. So now we're looking for the next structure to the downside. But also, now we've got a new high. So market structure is actually that. So look to buy somewhere down here and go for a long if it pulls back. But that's it. Morning, Leshy. Afternoon even. I keep forgetting. It's afternoon. So next level of resistance to the upside. Why's my 30-minute chart not loading? Hello? Oh, it's because we gapped up. Right. There we go. Yeah, so we gapped up. So that's the gap today. Someone was asking what the gap was today. This is the gap on the NASDAQ. Obviously, it's there. Big gap, which is this is partly what is making me skeptical about trying to go long on this, because gaps get filled over 60% of the time. Not necessarily same day, but they do get filled. Propulsion gaps based on news, which is that week, tend to get filled as well. So as I said earlier, my head is saying statistically this is a short today, but you've got to look at obviously what price is currently doing, and it is momentum long. So it's a tricky day. It's one of those days where you're better off maybe getting out. Danger with this sort of day is you're just going to get chopped to pieces, because you're just going to try and mean revert this and you're going to keep mean reverting it all day and ignoring the fact that this is parabolic long. So ideally you want to get in long, but getting in on trends is a lot harder. So some kind of pullback in here would be a decent long, but if it breaks short, it's probably going to break very quick as well. So see where we go. 44 viewers, only 4 likes. Where's John Wick? Oh, he's got big. Nice breakdown starting. Try another one there. So for those that come into the member streams, obviously what I'm looking at is the usual stuff. Yeah. Got 3-bar reversal there. So we've got buyers attempting a new high, failing, sellers taking control. Short. Yeah. We've got an area here which we've broken out with buyers. So either this is a failed auction to the upside, failed breakout, and we're going to retest and put in a new lower high, and then we are going to start to break down, in which case then I want to add some more size and look at where we're going. Or it's again going to be just a pullback long. But the thing is, at the moment we are up in this accumulation. So we've got that area there. We've got this high here as well. Yeah. So again, yeah, it's breaking up again. Look. So that is kind of the next area I'll look at for another go short. If that fails, my rule basically I stick by is if I get 3 failed trades, I'll stop. So I'm trying to mean revert the highs here and look for just some kind of pullback at all of this resistance we've got to the upside, hoping that there's some big orders in here that are going to stop price today. If it's going to break, it's going to break. So like with all trading, you're either a trend trader or you're a mean reversion trader, and you need to swap. At the moment, I'm a mean reversion trader just because of the amount of buying we've got in here. There's going to be some profit taking going on at some point today, even if it's just a small amount before it rallies high. They are going to need to take profit on some of this. So it's just trying to find out where we're going to hit some previous sellers who are going to help us on the way. So that's the high basically that's going to invalidate the trade. And I'll add some more here. So this is adding, assuming market structure is a lower high, we're going to put in a lower low, going to add more, but there's a potential for a bounce out of that area as well, which is basically what we've just done here. Yeah, so either that is where we're going to put in new market structure upside, or that's the high and we're going to break through that zone, which means we're coming back down to this area here. Don't you love it when your watch tells you to get up? I'm a trader. I don't get up. Doesn't know anything. Do you close all futures trades by end of session? Yes. You have to be flat end of day. If you're trading your own accounts, you don't have to be flat end of day. You can hold overnight, but the cost of holding overnight is very, very expensive. You need a lot of capital. So if you've got a decent sized position on, you're going to need, I can't remember what the amount of money is, but it's thousands basically per contract. So it depends how many contracts you have on, obviously, as to how much it costs. But if you're trading prop, you've got to be flat end of night. They won't let you hold overnight. In fact, one of the nice things about Top Step is they actually shut your positions for you. So you don't even have to do it. They do everything for you. Morning, Jouage. Afternoon even. I will remember it's afternoon at some point. So we've got double bottom again. So we're rebuying this low. So me, it looks like it's possibly going to break out long again. Is there a way to make stop loss trail? Yep. I'll show you if I can get a trade on. So all you do is you use a trailing stop. You set the distance, and then you set the number of contracts. And I'll wait for that second order to trigger. Yeah, then you put a buy stop trail in there. So you can see there's my trailing stop. And hopefully price will push down, but you'll see that come down. It's got to move first, obviously. So we need to break that low. And then that will start. There you go. So it's starting to trail. There we go. So basically there is my stop. So my stop is now double the size, obviously, because I've doubled the lot. So what I'm looking to do now is reduce risk. So always trimming risk, because if a trade is in play and working, always trimming the risk off so that if it doesn't work out, the loss is reduced, because every time you add a trade, you're doubling your risk. If you're doubling your risk, you need to make sure you reduce it as fast as possible. But obviously, without doubling your risk, you're not going to get the size on that you need to make the money. So it's a catch-22. So looking for a retest of this low now. So we've broken back down below that high. So buyers adding back in now. So the trend traders basically are adding here. So everyone that bought that and that is re-adding size in the same way as I sold this and I added size to the shorts. So one of us is going to win. It's binary. It's either going to do that or it's going to do that. And it's all down to the weight of buyers and sellers. Nothing in our control. You just have to wait and see if you've got the right direction or not. Do you prefer NAS over S&P? Now S&P is a lot slower. Yes, futures, aren't we? So S&P is a much slower mover. Yeah, so you compare the two, the ticks are a lot slower. Personal preference. Is there a way to make stop loss? I've already answered that one. MT4 can't do that. Yes, it can. So MT4, if you want a trailing stop, there. Yeah, so let me find something in profit, Aussie CAD. So this buy is in profit. So if I want to trail it by 12 pips, trailing stop. There we go. There's a trading stop. That will trail with price. Standard functionality, trailing stops. Every platform's got trailing stops. There you go. We're trailing. Magic. I don't want a trading stop. Struggling here. There's a lot of buyers today. Obviously, they're all buying the CPI number, but these are the types of moves I struggle with personally. Trying to get on to a parabolic trend. If you see a trend that has just literally got one bar down, this is where you want to be buying it. But something that's moved that far without any kind of decent pullback, it's kind of chasing price. The movements you get on each breakout are very small. Not really worth, to me, trying to get on. Especially with resistance upside coming here. Do you have a target to achieve to get funded? Yep. So you target with Top Step, your target, depending on your account size, is either 3 grand, 6 grand, or 9 grand if it's a 50, 100, or 150k. So this one's 9 grand. What max drawdown would you consider acceptable for position trading? Up to you. So for me personally, it depends on my month, open portfolio positions. It just depends on everything. For me, if something gets to 5%, I'm considering aggressive drawdown control. If something's at sort of 2-3% or so, I'm watching it. So it's up to you. It's a personal thing, drawdown. It's not something you can put a percentage account on, because it's if I've banked 15% this month and I've got a trade that's in 3% of drawdown, I couldn't give a monkeys. If I'm having a negative month and I'm down 3% or something, and I've got something in 3% drawdown, I'm considering aggressive drawdown control on it. But if it's not a bad month and something's in 5% of drawdown, it's massively extended. Yeah. So don't forget, when we're getting into positions, the market is already extended. So by the time you get to 5% drawdown, the market isn't just extended and stretched, it's really extended and stretched. So the more extended and stretched it gets, which is what elastic band theory is, which is what I teach in the bootcamp, the more elastic band stretches, the more likelihood it is to ping back. And the more you stretch it, the harder and the faster that ping back is. So these moves that you see on parabolic legs like this ping back to 50% very, very fast. Yeah, very quick pullbacks. And when you go out to higher time frames and you see bigger extensions like this, the pullback is going to be like that. So it depends how extended the market is. If I'm in 5% of drawdown on something like this, I'm not that worried, because the market can sustain a squeeze indefinitely, but at some point the market will panic. And the reason the market panics is all the institutional traders that are sitting short here and have built positions up and are short here are in so much profit. Every time they see a pop like that, their P&Ls drop. What that makes them do is scale out of a portion of their position, which makes their P&L nicer, and also it moves the market up. As that happens, more traders see their P&Ls drop, which makes them sell more, which makes it move a bit faster. And what you end up doing is you get this is a bad example, but what I call the climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. US dollar yen, perfect example. Yeah. Climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. That undid 3/4 of that move in less than 20% of the time it took to make the move. Yeah. Panic selling. That's what we see. Climbing up the stairs, you fall down the elevator shaft fast, and it's usually to 50%, if not more. 38% on a sort of a continuation of the trend. But so when you're in drawdown, you have to look at the overall picture, and the overall picture includes what you've banked this month, what your overall portfolio is, and how much exposure you have. If I'm overexposed on something, then I'm more panicky about it, then I'm more likely to do drawdown control. So Aussie US is a good example. I've already done drawdown control multiple times on this. My God, that didn't clear up any of that. So I was testing a new indicator out that I was kind of half developing. Obviously didn't put in to delete. all the old stuff on it, which is really annoying. It's a much easier way of doing this. Missed some. So yeah, Aussie US. So as you can see, that's where I initially got in. We were really extended when I got in on this trend continuation. News changed, bias changed, Trump got in. This is where Trump got in. Yeah, this is why we follow fundamentals. Trump got in. Nothing I can do about it. I was not expecting it. So I'm already scaled out of some. Yeah. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 drawdown controls, and I've also taken profit on some. Another 2 drawdown controls, another drawdown control there, another drawdown control there. Profit take, drawdown control. So I've taken some profit and I've done loads of drawdown control. So I'm just keeping, damn, stopped out. Oh no, sorry, target. The next position's just gone in. What am I short now? 9. So watching this high right where we are now. Just going to cover that. Just banked a little bit there. I'm just going to cover the rest. It looks like it's bouncing off this high. If not, and it breaks, we're testing that double bottom, previous high. So we should get a flush straight through to there. Got to break it though. Going to stop out on the rest. Okay, so 60 down now, back to break even-ish. So I'm going to look for an entry short. Or wait a minute and just see if that support is going to hold, in which case what I'm looking for is a break of that high. If we break that high, that will be my entry long, because I'm assuming that's going to hold, and what this is a flag break long. But we've only got that much room before we hit the resistance, so I'll come back to that in a sec. So yeah, basically this has been, I've been in this for ages, and I've been doing drawdown control all along the way just to scale out of bits and pieces of it. So this is the beauty of position trading. When you're in drawdown, you have an option to close the positions. So we are not using stop losses, because stop losses get stopped out. If I hadn't used a stop loss on that futures trade there and it collapses down, I've just lost all that money because of a stop loss. And a stop loss is exactly what it says. It stops loss, but it also stops profit. So basically what I'm doing is waiting for the drawdown to get to a certain level, and then I'm just realizing loss by closing out portions of the position. So it's a juggling act, and you need, this is why you monitor and manage all the time, is just to keep on top of what is working and what isn't. But you have to look at everything. There's no point in closing any positions out if you are getting to a point where you think it's going to bounce. So Aussie US at the moment, I mean, we've got to go back. So this area here, this orange line I've got drawn on, is an old yearly low here, which is September 22. So I'm expecting some buyers to step in at this point and do a pullback on this parabolic leg the same way as they did it last time. But we are in a downtrend as we were last time, and we are continuing, break high a little bit there, but in that downtrend. So what I'm expecting is some kind of pullback, and quite a big pullback on this. So there's no point in closing the position out or doing any more drawdown control right now. And also, this is why I'm holding the trade and not trying not to get too scared out by pullbacks on it, because this potentially, this orange line here, is exactly where we bounced. So we did buy that level. Sellers pushed through it, managed to hold it for a day and failed. We tested that annual low again, and now we've put a new higher high in. So this market structure reversal here is the new market structure. So I'm fully expecting potentially to pull back into propulsion, but then continue in that direction. But if we'd broken that low here, pulled back, double topped, pushed down, accumulated, and then retested that low, I'd be thinking about doing some drawdown control again. But you have to do it day by day. This is why I can't give numbers. I can't give any particular time frames, sort of formulas, if you like, to do drawdown control, because you're going to be in a different position to me. Somebody said in the Discord group today, someone posted they were finally out of Aussie US. Someone else posted that they were out of Aussie US. I had an exit of $200 on Aussie US as well. I didn't take it. Someone else posted they were in 3% drawdown on Aussie US. Yeah, we're all trading the same thing. We're trading long on Aussie US, but one person's in 3% drawdown, two people are flat and out with profit. So you can't give a rule, because even if you all take exactly the same trade at the same time, as the position plays out, you're going to manage it differently and you're going to be in a different situation. So you've got to do that bit yourself. There's no rules. So new high's gone in. Trying along. So support, looking for breaking that high. Had one there, maybe there. There's lots of resistance to the upside. Tricky trade this, because we're not actually, the trend has weakened dramatically. Look, so what we're actually doing now is basing sideways. We're inside bar. This is what I call a control candle. So since that last rally by the buyers, the sellers haven't let the buyers get anywhere at all. But the sellers also haven't made any progress. So basically, until that control candle breaks either down or up, we are range bound. So it's a flip of a coin. It's a 50-50. We're either going to come and retest those highs to find the sellers, or we're not. And basically, we're going to break down below that low and come and test this area here. So that's the moves that are in play at the moment. Short-term market structure just broke the high, higher low. Looking for it to break a higher high. So I'm going to put one buy up there. But if it invalidates this low, i.e. we break down below that candle, I'm wrong. So I'm looking to go here. Sellers are looking to go below that low. One of us is going to be right. So impressive how you manage to trade all the Forex plus top step and back test, run the channel. I don't sleep, I trade. And I sleep and trade. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go, I need to go to the loo. From 4 until 6, which is when I get up, I've got things going through in my head about, I haven't tried that, haven't tried this. There's a never ending, the problem with this job is there's a never ending number of ways that you can do it. So you're always looking to improve yourself. You're always looking for things that can make it better. So you'll have things that pop into your head. I'm sure everybody does this. You have things that pop into your head. Don't like, look at this. Just reducing the risk a little on it. Doesn't look like it's going. We're just stuck inside bar. Yeah, so you have things that pop into your head and you just can't get rid of them. So this is where I suddenly go, right. And I change my direction that I'm looking at things all the time, and I'll go and build something, I'll back test it, I'll throw it away, I'll build something, I'll back test it, I'll throw it away. What I've done over my lifetime doing this is tested millions and millions of strategies, systems, permutations of systems, different ways of using stops, different markets, different this, that, and the other. I've come to the conclusion that they all do exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. It doesn't matter how you apply risk reward to it, you're going to be able to squeeze somewhere in the region of 5 to 10% a month out of an account. So there's a billion ways I can do that. I've already got well-established ways. So all I end up doing is retesting new stuff that gives me the same result, which is profit. So you've got to just stick to what you do. The most difficult thing is juggling your brain, if you like, around all the different strategies and types, which is always going to be a problem. But you're going to see stuff all the time out there, and there's new stuff going to come along all the time, which is repackaged versions of stuff you've already learned, which sends you off on another spiral. And it's just the way this market works, and it's been doing it since I've been in it. Yeah, before ICT there was Steve Mauro. Before Steve Mauro there were other people, you know, and it's just basically people copy success. So you find something that works and you copy it. If you can't execute it, it's not because it doesn't work. It's because you're executing it wrong most of the time. It's a binary market. It goes up and down. Your only thing you can do is apply risk around price movement. Yeah, there's a billion strategies you can use to do that with, and they all work if you get it right. If you get it wrong, it's about controlling the risk. That's all you have. There is no control of the market. There is control of risk. You're a risk manager. That's going to stop out. So it's going to break down below that low. So it's very slow now. I'm going to give it benefit of doubt. What? Not seeing particularly strong selling or buying at the moment. I'm just going to give that low there a chance to hold. So we've got basically 4 inside bars, and now we're painting 2 inside bars on that candle, which is an inside, which is ever such a slight low break of that candle there. So it is marginally bearish for the last half an hour, but the market's not really able to do anything. So I'm not going to take a tighter stop on it because that would have stopped me out. I'm just going to see if we can get a nice double bottom off of there, because the market is actually range bound, and if it is going to remain range bound, we're going to rebuy this area, probably after taking my stop out. Your 1000 tick time frame is a tick time frame. Yeah, 1000 T, 1000 tick. What do they tell you? I mean, instead of a regular time frame. So a tick chart. So time is an illusion. Yeah. As traders, we use candlesticks, and we classify candlesticks over time. And all that tells you is, in that 5-minute period, it opened there, it closed there, and it moved down ever so slightly. It doesn't give you any indication of what happened to make that happen. A tick chart shows you what happens every 1,000 orders, if you like. It's not 1,000 orders because it's not a volume chart, but it's a tick chart. So every time we make a tick from that price to that price, or that price to that price, that is a tick. So I'm looking at 1,000 movements in price, not time, because time is something that we use as human beings. Price doesn't use time. Price is price. Price is horizontal. Yeah. So the market moves from price to price. Therefore, this is telling me that is the high price. This is the low price at the moment. So this is where you would buy from if you're going to buy the lows, and that is where you would sell from. How long it takes to get from there to there is irrelevant. The market is looking at areas of buy and sell zones that it wants to execute business at. That's going to turn them. I'm trying a really, really tight stop here, just on that low, which they've just rebought. We had 1,000 ticks worth of price action come in no time at all. Yeah, but time is something that we classify. So you could look at this chart now and go, for the last hour, previous hour, before this hour, it was bullish. Yeah, but if you look at that on a tick chart, you will see all the intricate details in there. Yeah, let's go back there. So that is the hour. So within that hour, which is from roughly there to roughly there, yeah, this tells you that the bulls were in control. You could have sold the crap out of that for the whole hour and made a load of money before it did that. And you could have then bought that accumulation bounce and made a shitload of money there. A lot of money. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. But as a trader trading time frames, yeah, that's all you see. The bulls are in control. The bears were actually in control for 50% of the time. So this shows you inside. What this does is it gives you a way of trading quicker, if you like. So it allows you to basically get in on volume price action, if you like. So that was wrong again there. So $400 down today. So yeah, it's basically just price is what we're seeing. We're seeing ticks towards price. See, this is now saying it's bearish. Yeah. So it allows you to trade inside this candlestick at the end of the day. So where is price moving to now? We don't know. But here you can see much more detail about where price is likely to bounce from. This is a really good buy spot. It's just I don't want to get in on, you know, look at that, right? That's massively bearish, isn't it? It's painting a bear candle, but it's not. This is a really good bounce point on the way up to that. Yeah, it's just an insider view, if you like. A lot of people, I'm just going to put my stop a little bit further down. Actually, that's not the greatest entry in the world at all, but I can't get a trade on today, basically. This might be it. So wait one sec. So basically, yeah, it's a lot of people use volume, volume profile, market profile. This is kind of a simplified version of that. I've never found much use for volume profile and market profile. I have used it. I've tried all sorts of things like that. But all they do at the end of the day is give you an indication on a volume profile. If we put a volume profile on this chart, let's put it on that price there. Put it there so we can see it. Yeah. This shows you where the volume has been traded. I know where the volume's been traded. I can see it on a tick chart. It's there. Because I'm looking at 1,000 ticks of worth of price action at a time. It kind of tells me the same thing as this, but in a more accurate way. So I can see that's the high, unfinished auctions, unfinished business. I can see this is the value area because this is where we bought it from. So this is what somebody trading market profile would call a value area low, an area you want to buy it from. Why do you think I've been trying to buy it? Because this is what's happening. It's buying here. You can see it on a tick chart where they're buying it from. This still hasn't changed, has it? Hasn't told you anything. This is telling you a much more detailed story about what's going on with price. So the volume profile traders are going to try and sell it here. Well, if they're watching this last probably 5 minutes of price action. So this is what's called the point of control. So this is the highest volume of price action within the last 5-10 minutes or so. So when we get there, there will be a load of sellers coming in. You can see that on the chart. This is an area the sellers are interested in. The buyers popped through for a minute and the sellers went, nope, you're not having it. They sold it again. They sold it again. They sold it again. So the market profile shows you the point of control, which if you do this enough, you will see it anyway. So this doesn't help me. It just clutters my chart, so I don't use it. But it's very, very useful for a lot of traders in identifying where you should be buying and selling from. So this whole section here from 2:30 there. So this whole section here is that on a 5-minute chart. But look at this. There's your point of control there. Your point of control there is different. I'm obviously drawing that in slightly different. I might be drawing that in slightly different. Anyway, so yeah, that's all it is, tick chart. There's other types of charts like TPO charts. There's so many chart types that you can use, but tick charts are what most scalpers use, I think. This is too, a lot of the times, especially with the NASDAQ, this is too slow. This doesn't give you enough information. Lower high, lower low, just gone in on the 5-minute. I'm really going against the grain here. I really want to sell this, but I can't ignore the fact that it's massively bullish off that CPI number. I don't know. Tough day today. These are the days you just don't want to trade because it's a mess. The market's a mess. It's probably going to be a stop out. Lower high going in. This is either going to be a higher low or it's not. It's probably going to be a lower low, so it's probably going to stop out. If that is the case, that will be on my last one today. Can AEA limit the amount of open pairs to 2-3 pairs? And when open new pairs? Yeah, if you just basically put it on 2 or 3 pairs. Looks a bit like a reversed head and shoulders on the Aussie US. Yeah. I hope not, because 90% of head and shoulders patterns fail, which means it's going to do that. There you go, stopped out again. That would be me done for the day. I can't read this today. It's just a choppy mess. These are the days. These type. Oh, I forgot to close. Okay, I'm 3 short, 6 short. I don't want to be 6 short. Don't want to be in that. These are the types of days where you just get chopped to pieces. You need to be in, out, done. In, out, done. You need to be taking profit really quick, and that's not what I do. I tend to get in, build a position, and hold it for a run. I want to go short, but the market doesn't at the minute. I'm loath to try. All I'm doing is flipping long and short and getting chopped about at the moment. So I'm going to call it a day there. Down day. But I'll be watching some shorts out of there if you do want to, because it does look like it's breaking down now. So watching this area here for buys. So previous resistance, slammed through it, retested it. So this is where the buyers are sitting at the moment. So all the sellers that were selling here, This is where they flipped long and added to positions. So that's where you're going to find buyers, and that's where you're going to find sellers. So it's either going to break that, or it's going to bounce and come up and test that high. So if you did 4 o'clock candle, there's your hourly candle going in. I'm in 3% drawdown because I didn't do any aggressive drawdown. First trade is from the 11th of November. Yeah. Pretty much the same as mine, I think. Yeah. 12th of November. So basically I've just done, I haven't done aggressive. I have done one aggressive drawdown, 2 aggressive drawdown control positions. There was one there and there was one there, which was after I was in 6 positions, 6 trades. So I took an aggressive there and closed out 2 positions. So basically I took off some and put an aggressive on, and I had a second aggressive go on at the lows. That worked out, which allowed me to do more drawdown control using the profit. So overall on this trade is a loss at the moment. So I've got a nice trade on there I took a portion of before news. But yeah, I'm hoping that this reversal alert now is the break in structure back to the upside. So looking for an accumulation bounce, and hourly that will be a propulsion gap fill. It's struggling. Look, this US dollar is really struggling off of that news. So what we might do is rebuy this propulsion gap, which would be lovely because that would just be straight up into profit. So, but again, that's the difference, Tralala. Like I was saying earlier, if, you know, you've taken the same trade as I've taken at the same level-ish that I've taken. We have got completely different results. Other people are already out. Yeah, it's the same trade based on a similar strategy, but you're going to have a completely different situation because you're going to do different things. The reason I did some drawdown control was because I had profit, which allowed me to do it. If you've got no profit, you can't do drawdown control. Well, you can, obviously it just turns into loss, but you know, it's not a simple process. There's no rules as such that you can say this is what you need to do because of X. It's one of those days where it's looking bullish, then it's looking bearish, then it's looking a bit bullish again, then it's looking bearish again, then it's looking bullish, then it's looking bearish. Very, 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 very tricky. Very tricky today. So there's a double sell short. I'm going to try one more. One more short. So if you look at this on a 5-minute time frame, oh, wrong one. This is a 38 retracement bounce. So shallow pullback in a trend, basically. 50% retracement is that break and flip long there. So either this is going to be shallow pullback or we're going to test that. So it's a good buy. but it's also potentially a good sell right now. So I can't get on that. Can't get on it long. I haven't got any faith. It's too far. It's too far gone today. Look at it. 150 ADR. But this is the problem after news trading, unfortunately. You just get rotation. There's no volume left. They've done it. We're out. It's not going to get anywhere. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So these are both. This is going to be the first losing day this year. So DAX up 210. European session rather up 210. Down 400. So down 200 on the day. It's the first losing day I've had this year with the indices, with the SIH. And because obviously we got a double hedge, but because of that, shouldn't have done it, did it, have done it, and it's worked before. So, you know, one of those days. I use your market reversal alert dashboard with Forex and indices. It's alerted a 5-minute reversal short on the NASDAQ. Oh, no, wrong one. Yeah, so the reversal alert is there. Where's my box? Where's box? They want smileys. Rectangle. I remember setting that to that. So your reversal alert is on that candle there. So that's the last low before the high. And that is the break of structure on that candlestick there. So this is now a retest short. And I am. I'm going to leave my stop nice and high. Give it plenty of room to move. I want it higher than that. I'm going to see if I can get some size on to this. Because if we do not hold this level here, assuming we come and test that level there, we've potentially got that whole propulsion move there, which is the news to come and test. So it's going to bounce out of there, or it's going to bounce out of this area, or it's just going to collapse and undo the gap. If it's going short, we'll wait and see. Do bank the money once per year before paying taxes or more often? Bank regularly. Well, not regularly, every 3 months or so. One of the things you'll learn, well, not learn, but I mean, one of the things I think most traders do, which is what I do, is you take the money when the money's there. Yeah. So if I'm having a good month and I've had a good month followed by a good month, I'll bank it. I'm just going to close Aussie CAD. Just going to post that. Reason I've closed that is because I've still got Aussie US running. And Aussie CAD and Aussie US are very, very similar in their price action. So if this is wrong, I want to take the profit on the Aussie CAD, so I don't go into draw down Aussie CAD. It's not a lot of money. It's 0.37%, but it's 0.37%. So it's worth banking. But just in case it doesn't bounce out of this over the next couple of days. So looking for a break of the lows. Add more size. and then I'll buy back some on the bounce. So I take a partial profit there. And if it slams through it, that's fine. I've still got 6 short. If it gets there. We'll see. Got to get there yet. But this is my last trade today. If this one doesn't work out, it's got me. I think this is the hardest thing with prop. And this is why I don't do prop very often. Because being stopped out over and over again, it annoys you. And with prop especially, you have this extra level of worry which is put on top of you by having a drawdown limit, which is why I hide it as well, because this skews your judgment and this skews your judgment. Yeah, so I always hide this and this because I don't care. You should trade like you're trading, like trade what you see on your chart. Don't trade because you're worried about hitting this. Don't trade because you're worried about hitting this. If you see that getting bigger, then yeah, do something about that by stopping for the day. And same with that. If that's massive, stop for the day. But they put added pressure onto you by having you stick within rules. Obviously, we've talked about this lots in prop. And this is one of the reasons I don't do it very often, because it forces you to use tight stop losses, which forces you to make stupid mistakes. Because you can see you've got restraints to work within. This is the beauty of position trading and trading my own capital on SIH. I don't care. I do what I like. And therefore I make better decisions because I'm not being forced or skewed into making wrong decisions by someone else's rules. Rules are there for you to make and stick by. And if they don't work, you change your rules. When you've got a set of rules that works, if someone tells you to change them, it's not going to work. Bought the lows again. That area there, it's holding. So, bearish price action on the 5-minute. Lower high, lower low. But unable to break previous lows. So if you look at the 30-minute chart, that's what we need to break today. So we have got a lower high and a lower low gone in. Now we've got another lower high. So we need another lower low to go in the next 20 minutes. But if we are going to push back up and make a new high, I'm out. So rotation. Can't make money very easily in a rotation unless you're just buying the lows and selling the highs, which is difficult. This is the problem which everybody comes across. By the time you've identified you're in rotation, you've missed all the trades. So when you identify that you're in a rotational market, you've missed the rotational market. That's why it's so hard. Why is everybody says, why is it every time I press the buy button it goes down and every time I press the sell button it goes up? Because you're trading what you've just seen. You're not predicting where you think it's going. That's the difference. Always think where is it going, not looking at where it's been. Although where it's been is obviously very useful for support and resistance. But so this is the reversal alert on the 5-minute time frame we've got drawn on there. So that is the break. So this candle I would look as a retest area. So want this low to hold. If not, want that low to hold. High to hold. If it breaks those. Not holding that much hope. We'll see where we go. So the lower high going in now. So this is a short. So short sellers who are trend trading at the moment, selling here, lower, selling here, but we've double bottomed. So we know there's the sellers weren't able to make a new low. So this is potentially a W pattern reversal. So it's either that or we're going to hold and create a wedge pattern and then break down. So if we put a lower high in, there's more selling pressure. If we put a higher high in, that double bottom buying pressure is more powerful than the selling pressure. All it's about trading is about reading who's in control of the market. Right now, the sellers have got more control than the buyers, but the buyers fought back more than they did there. So this is a real battleground going on, which is why we're moving like this. One of those is going to win, which means we're either going to pop up to here or we're going to pop down below there and we're going to break. Flip a coin. Right, I'm going to leave that trade on short. So target on this for me, I'm going to add more size if we do break that low, because if we do break these double bottom lows, we're going to pop out the lows there and we're going to get a nice breakdown. We're going to break straight down into the previous area we bought from, which was the previous resistance, turn support. So this is where the sellers flip long. So that is where we're going to find a bounce. If it bounces, fine. I'm going to take some of it off and then hope that we basically can continue to break down from there. So we'll see where we go, but that there potentially will get me back to a break-even day, potentially a small win today, but we'll see. So nice breakdown happening now. So looking for a low break, add, and then take some off down here. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and just wait and see what this does. It just retested on the dashboard short NASDAQ 5 minutes. It's super useful. That's why I built it. It is. I don't use it, to be honest. It's the only tool I created that I don't actually use, the reversal alerts dashboard. Because I'm using the reversal alerts indicator less because I don't need it anymore because I can see a structure break. It's really useful. If you're not good at reading market structure, it's the most useful thing I've ever created in my life. You know, it's what started everything. It's what started the YouTube channel, everything. It became a bit of a phenomenon because I think partly because it's market structure is what ICT basically ripped off, isn't it? So ICT took market structure, which has been around since the candlesticks were invented, and basically wrapped new terminology around it and went, here you go. And everyone was like, oh, wow. These things have been in existence since the 1980s. YouTube wasn't even invented. Yeah, the wide range bar created by Mr. Perry was now called a fair value gap. General terminology, everyone knows it as a fair value gap. It's not. It's a wide range bar, and it was invented back in the 80s by another trader. So, you know, all this repackaging stuff over and over again. And I think that's why it became popular, the indicator, and why it still is popular, because it's similar to what ICT does. It's not what ICT does. Everyone calls it the order block indicator. And that's what I originally named it, because that's what everybody called it. But it's not. It's a reversal in market structure, and market structure is basically highs and lows. So when you break that, you can use fractals as well. You stick a fractal indicator on this, you'll find you get very similar signals. Bill Williams, where are you? Fractals. Yeah. So fractal high. Can't see that, can you? I mean, and this indicator, Bill Williams, way before internet. Yeah. Fractal high, fractal low, break in fractals. It's the same, you know, I haven't invented anything new here. Market structure's been around for time eternal. Yeah. People just take stuff and call it different things all the time, and then they resell it to you over and over and over and over again. And some people could argue that I've done the same thing, but I created this because when I started trading market structure, I struggled to identify market structure, and I tried to use fractals, and I tried to use semaphore, another indicator which does similar to fractals. And I find it gave me too many signals. So I wanted something that took a previous high fractal and waited until the previous high fractal was broken, which is kind of what that is. But it doesn't use fractals. It uses another algorithm. But it will always give you something similar to fractals. But the trouble with fractals is you're going to get multiple false signals. It signals too often. It's for people with patience. That's not most traders, is it, fractals? So... But the reversal alerts dashboard, you don't need the indicator. The dashboard will tell you when the signals are there, and you just act on those. That's all you need. Okay, symmetrical triangle formation is forming. Well, actually, it's probably more like that. So a break of that high, longs, a break of that low, shorts. So that's a really good add short. I'm already 6 short, so I'm not going to add another one because it's too close to my entry point. But if you're not in anything at the moment, a break of that high and a break of that low is probably going to start the next movement, because we're contracting in price, which means that we're building up, we're coiling, and it's going to go pop or pop in one direction or the other. Again, symmetrical triangle, another fantastic indicator that I don't use because I can see symmetrical triangles. But if you can't see symmetrical triangle patterns, this is a great indicator. Paints them for you. And that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for a break of that low, that high, back, up. Yeah, same thing. It's either going to break that low and go, or it's going to break that high and go. Because it can't go anywhere else. It's contracting. You can't contract indefinitely. At some point, the market will not be able to get orders fulfilled, and it will have to do price discovery and find a different level to get its orders filled at, which is what a symmetrical triangle break is. It's just the market contracting. There's only so much volume left before you go flatline. You can't go flatline because you need to tick. Someone has to place a large order, and that large order will break that zone, and that zone will then pop. And at the moment, it's looking hopeful that we might pop short. But we're going to pop straight into support. So 5-minute chart. There's your M pattern. Potentially, we still got to break this level. Struggling, look. So still bearish. We've changed the symmetrical triangle pattern, haven't we? We're now a little bit more wedgy. One of those is still going to go. We just double top that last little wick. So they are definitely buyers here. We are really, really strong buy zone. We're 25 minutes, 30 minutes now inside bar. Look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 inside bar. That's your control candle. At the moment, price is unable to take a direction. Pop long, typical. Not my day today. So I'll hold out for the lower high, but not too convinced of this. Look at the wicks on the 5-minute time frame. Buyers, 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 buyers. High broken. That high there is lying in the sand for me. So I'm just going to move my stop down. Above those highs. So we've got triple top. If that breaks, I'm done. This is just too choppy today. It's just a chop fest. You have to know when to walk away, and this is it. So this is either breaking short and making me money, or it's stopping me out and I'm done for the day. So it'd be a grand loss. But this is a 9 grand target account. So a grand loss sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's a normal day. So usually my days are in the region of 600 to 2.5 grand either way. So this is bang in the middle of a normal loss day, to be honest. So we'll see. Right, I'll leave it there. So hedges today, I don't think we're going to get out of these hedge exits. So it's double loss, unfortunately. First down day. But FX wise, market does seem to be holding the US at the minute. We are struggling to retrace that entire move, but we'll give it to the end of the day, obviously. We have to, because that's what it does. And if we do get down to there, I'm looking for some buyers. So we're looking for this US dollar weakness to continue into Monday. So we'll see tomorrow where we've gone to. Tomorrow, members stream. I haven't got anything planned tomorrow, members. If there's any members still here, I don't know if anybody's still here. I'll have a think overnight what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. I've got lots of stuff that I'm kind of working on, but I haven't managed to progress this week. So could do a session on futures, potentially. But I'll have a think about what to do tomorrow. I'll post out in Discord, see if anybody's got any ideas of anything they want to specifically discuss. But I've got a few things we can cover. But we will go through the normal stuff, through all the zones, through all the normal position trading stuff tomorrow. We'll trade the DAX as usual and the FTSE. But I wanted to cover the embedded RSI strategy that I've been working on, but I haven't made any progress on it this week. I've had other things which have taken preference, unfortunately. So I will think of something to do tomorrow. There's always something to talk about. The annoying thing is for you is you could hold overnight. It will almost certainly give some back. Yeah, you don't need to hold overnight though. There we go. We're back in profit again. Look, it's just rotational today. Look at that. Indecision, the ultimate indecision candlestick. So we still got lower highs going in, and look at this. I mean, this it's basically it's still basing as a symmetrical triangle. It's just changing shape, but at the end of the day we are in a range. So this low, if that breaks, we're going to pop. If that breaks, we're going to pop. One of them's going to pop. We're just stuck, aren't we? So this is the thing. You can't force the market. The market does what the market does. It's based on the differential between buying and selling pressure. I'm hoping that the guys that are doing this at the moment, look at these candlesticks, how many red candlesticks there are and how many green. We are definitely in a sell heavy market, but with a very high number of buyers at this area. But there's just not enough sellers at the moment in the market. We need some of these buyers to give up and flip short and assume that they can't make a new high. So the buyers are trying to push up into this zone at the moment to get out. If they can't, I mean, they're very much like me at the moment. They'll be sitting there going, it ain't working, guys. Right, well, let's help these guys on their way. Because if you've got the money in the bank, if you're in a bank or an institution, you can move this in any direction you like at any time. You have masses of capital that you can use, called iceberg orders, to just drop in the market and pop the market. So you could easily, if you want to, drive this short and you'll make money on it because you will pop it. You'll be part of the volume. And as your volume takes price lower, the sellers, or rather the other buyers, will either stop out and flip short or stop out and not flip short. But either way, there won't be any resistance to the downside. So market will move down. You will then get out of the lows at the lows, basically, whenever you choose, which will be here, because that's where you're going to find the most buyers coming through. So it's a case of who breaks first. One of the banks is going to dump one in a minute. Which bank are you with? That's it. That's all you have. So you control the risk. I'm going to lose 500 if it pops. I'm going to make more than 500 if it drops. That's all you have in trading is, and especially in futures, is risk management. Yeah, that's got to be more than that every time you get in, which is why I think you need to build positions. So many people get in with like 5 lots or 10 lots and they'll go stop there. I'd rather get in with 3 lots and see if I'm right. If I'm right, I'll get in with more. If I'm wrong, but I'm only wrong for 3. Every time I'm right for 6 to 9. Every time I'm wrong for 3. That's the edge. Not direction. I haven't got a clue which direction it's going, as you can tell. But when it does go in the right direction, the edge is having more lot size on than you don't when you're going the other way. Yeah. I really want this trade. I'm waffling and filling, right? Because I want this trade to play out. I just want you to see what happens when it either works or doesn't. But it's just not doing anything. We're coming up to lunch. It's 4:30 UK. Hoping it's just going to get the order, because there's going to be a load of like me, there's going to be a load of orders sitting here, shorts, but we just can't get down there to grab it. High or low? Thinking. It's not exactly enthralling television, this, is it? Hopefully you're learning something. Come on, just break. Okay, we've got a little gap down there. So big sell order just came in there. We've got a little gap down. We should get, there we go. There's the follow through. So little gap, see that little gap appear? So that was a large order. We didn't tick one, we ticked two. Big order. So there's the iceberg. So everybody that was long from here is now stopped out. Hopefully we'll come up, retest, and they will flip short with us, and that will drive us straight down into support. And this is where the payback comes. So looking to get out of one at that low. There's the pop. That is the area I'm looking at to take 3 off. It's 430 candle. So just reducing risk on the way. So can't take that 867 loss. So just trailing by 20 points, looking for a retest of that area if we're going to go bull, but this is where we're going to get out of a portion. One third off. New trailer. So break even on the rest. So see, straight through that support, didn't hold at all. There we go. So next level down. I'm just going to pick the bottom of this candle for the moment. So that is basically the low we closed at over and over and over again there. We did wick through it. So obviously you can argue that's the low, but that's the low from where we based that move. So which is there. So if I put a market profile on that, yeah, see the point of control? Yeah, almost exactly where my line is, which is on the 5-minute chart, that area. So we know this is where the most volume went into the market, because every time we hit it, large volume entered and stopped it going through. So the only way you stop price going in one direction is to have more volume come back the other way. We use that area for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes before it went. So you can almost guarantee that that is where the largest volume node is. That point of control is where the buyers are going to be interested in adding to their long positions. So anyone that's looking at this being a pullback long, this is a 71.8 retracement where they'll be buying from. Or not. Yeah. The other thing that everybody, and this is the other horrible thing about futures, which is why I say I don't like it. I do like it. I enjoy it, but I don't find it a consistently profitable way to make money. It's very difficult, because what happened here at that point in time is not now. The volume differential between buyers and sellers is different here than it is there. So I used to use this and use value area low and value area high. What I found was they don't work anywhere near as many times as they fail. When they do work, they really work. When they don't work, it's more often than they do work. And the reason being is because right here, that was the highest volume point. Right now, the market shifted. We've had a news event. We've had many hours of trading go through. Stock announcements might have come out. There's all sorts of things that could have changed between then and here, which means that when you get there, there is no real want to go long anymore, and it will just blow straight through it in the same way as there was a massive want to go long there, but as soon as we got to it, they went poof and blew straight through it, because right now we're in a totally different scenario to what we were back then, which is why all indicators are useful and useless at the same time, because they're telling you what's happened in the past. What's happened in the past got nothing to do with the future most of the time. It's invaluable to watch you trade the NASDAQ live. Super interesting for anyone like me who trades the indices. Yeah. Doesn't make me good at it. So we're stalling out down here, potentially putting in a flag. We may well come back and completely reclose that propulsion gap that we're placing now, which means I'm just going to stop out on that one. Still be a down day, but it will be a very small down day rather than a big down day. Hopefully it'll be an up day. So take profit to the downside is 831. I'm 3 down, so that'll give me 5 for the day. So this is my last trade of the day, definitely. So this is either going to take me out for about 200 or 800, 150. So 150 trailing stop, 830 upside. Both profit, but one makes me profit on the day, the other one makes me loss on the day. I am trading Tesla in parallel, almost the same price action. It will be, because Tesla's one of the big 10. Actually, it's, oh no, it's not earnings fortnight. Earnings fortnight is coming up. Sorry, that's, yeah, so there's the NASDAQ component. So there's your top 10. Google, Facebook, Tesla. Yeah, so these guys make up 80% of the price movement on the NASDAQ. So you can see they're all up for the day. But obviously they'll all be coming down at the same time as well. Earnings is BlackRock City. These are all pre-market. So these were pre-market earnings. Tomorrow we got there's a few big names in there. These are more DOW stocks. Out. So trading stops just triggered. So down 179 on the day. You see why this is such a frustrating thing and why I don't like to do it on a regular basis? Because I've spent best part of 2 hours making no money, but having to sit in front of a chart. However, look at that. Boom. You watch this now. I should have just put a break even on it, which would have been a much more logical trade, but I didn't. But with the ORB and the SIH, the beauty of these is you are made within half an hour on them. And I do trade ORB on this as well. Not today, because obviously the volume today was already done. So we had this spike. So I don't like trading ORB on days like this. But normally I would trade ORB on this as well. If you can get a decent ORB trade on futures, you can make 1,500 to 2K literally in 20 minutes and be done. That's it. Done for the day. Choppy days like this, you end up just fighting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And they end up always being the days where you bank $500, maybe. or you lose $500, they're never big days. The trend days are the big days. The days where it breaks, retests, and you just basically grab that trend and it goes. Those days are your 3-5K days. And it's all about sitting through this crap. And this is why I don't like it, because I've spent a lot of time doing stock trading, sitting through this crap, and I'm fed up with it. But props really good fun. And it's a very cheap way of making money, as we covered yesterday. $150 or $50, in fact, for a low value account, for a 50K account, you're in a 50 grand account. People can live on 50 grand accounts. Hard, but you can. But you're not going to continuously keep it. That's the thing. You just got to roll them over. Keep rolling them over. But get the payouts. Still looking short, but I'm not going to take it. Right, that's me done for the day. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. I'll be back tomorrow morning for members. So the member stream is at 8 o'clock. We'll cover something. I'll figure it out. Then back on Friday this week, obviously, for the end of week recap. We'll have a look at everything. Yeah, just see how the week's gone, really. But there you go. So we are filling that gap now, look. So looking for a bounce play on this. So this, as I said, this is a massive overreaction to that news. So I think we may well go that way, but not that fast. So hopefully we'll be back up here again tomorrow, and then I'll make another decision. If we don't break that high tomorrow, I might exit, just in case that is the move. So we'll look at it tomorrow. All right, have a good one. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow if you're in member streams. If not, on Friday. Have a good day.